Hey everyone, how's it going? Can you believe that is already December 30th and we are going to be in the new year by the time we meet again? Anyways, hi and welcome to BL Week in Review. I'm your host, BL Songbird. Before we get going, don't forget to like this video, perhaps subscribe to this channel, etc., etc. We have a live chat going. Everybody is really friendly and kind. Feel free to join that live chat. Lots of stuff going on every week there. Ah, before we get too far into things, just a brief overview of how it works here. This is our week in review. We'll talk about the series that are coming up, the series that ended, and I like to talk about episode 1 of all the series to chat about whether it's worth watching in real time or not. So we do that. And then at the end of the episode, we have a lovely spoilers chat where we discuss in more detail things. I will clearly announce the spoilers section. Anything before that time is spoilers free. Please even try to leave the spoilers behind and don't share too much in the chat. As you can see, it's live on the screen. So yeah, just an announcement. Um, we are doing something very new here in a couple of weeks. The new year is bringing big change for BL Week in Review. For starters, I am going to be kind of stepping out from under the wings of the BL Express and doing BL Week in Review on my own. The article will be available on my Patreon channel every week. It's not going anywhere, it'll still be there. And this live is going to be on a new channel. The channel is in the comments of this video, not the comments, the description of this video. It's BL Unscripted, and my close friend and I are going to be doing BL Week in Review together. So I think that is going to be a lot of fun. Be sure to subscribe to that channel. That will be starting, that first live on that channel will be not until Tuesday, January 13th. So next week we'll still be here. Uh, and then 2 weeks from now, will be on the new site. So hopefully all of you guys can join us there. I hope to see everybody as we transfer over and move forward. Also, a really fun announcement is that my Patreon account, I decided to do it there just for ease of it being in one central spot. I'm going to be doing a blog this year. So stay tuned for that. And the blog will be free on Patreon. Whoa. The only thing that is going to cost money is behind the scenes if you want to join the Discord server on Patreon. So yeah. Hello everyone. Yeah, I'm going on and on. Hopefully everyone can hear me okay. So, big news coming out of Thailand. I don't know if you're fairly new to BL or if you haven't been through rounds of this. The new year for a lot of big production companies, at least that do BL in Thailand, tend to pause their series for New Year's to give their employees a public holiday. Because in Thailand we have the actors promoting the series, and we have everybody working behind the scenes for the social media accounts promoting the series and all these things. So they all get a break, which means that Burnout Syndrome, Dare You to Death, Goddess Bless You from Death, Melody of Secrets, and Reloved have all been postponed until next week. Now, those are only the ones I know right now. I am not entirely sure if there will be more or not, but as of this time, those series are on hold. We have a quiet week of BL this week. I don't know if that's a good, maybe it is a good thing. There have been so many series that aired this year. This gives you an opportunity to watch one that maybe you didn't have time for. I am watching. Oh my gosh, I always get them confused. This is it's my own fault. What is it called? To My Shore. I started watching To My Shore. And so, yeah, and I'm not reacting to that. I mean, I am reacting to that, but not on social media. If you are really curious about what I think about that show, you can find my reactions to it behind the paywall on my Discord server. I did update that though, everyone. You pay $1, pay $3, pay $5 USD. You get the same benefit, and just it's a pay what you can kind of situation, and the benefit is access to that Discord server. Anyway, all right. So we've got postponements. We've got possibly catching up on other series, etc. It's pretty cool. Um, Coming soon, we actually do have one series coming soon, and that is Awakening the Step. It is one of those Mandarin series that have been filming in Japan on the Secrets of Us YouTube channel, and that is starting January 1st. Interestingly enough, so on Thursday, January 1st, we have Awakening the Step on YouTube. I don't know if it'll be behind a paywall, but apparently the Secrets of Us YouTube channel paywall is only $1.99. So it's not an expensive paywall. And the preview looks enticing, actually. I think they have it seems like they have a step up in filming quality, which is pretty exciting. So yeah, we have one series this week, as far as I'm aware. If you happen to know of any other series coming, I scoured YouTube and X to see if there were any other announcements. I didn't see any, but if you happened to see one, go ahead and feel free to share. Uh, Also, episode 1, I think this time it is filmed in mainland China in Yunnan. Oh, that's even cooler. That's pretty cool. I was wondering, I thought maybe it was, yeah, very cool. That's exciting. So they even filmed abroad, everyone, first for Awakening the Step. It might be worth, the $1.99 subscription in this particular case. I know I have a watch group, and we're debating, one of my watch groups that I attend, we're debating whether or not one of us should pay so we can watch. All right, episode 1 coming out. This last week, we only had 2 shows. We had Love Alert, which started on Sunday night, Monday morning, somewhere in there, depending on where you were in the world. It did end up getting an international platform on Gaga Ooh La La, and I found it entertaining enough to continue. But I didn't find it entertaining enough to post it publicly on social media. So for that one, I'm going to be chatting about it in the Discord server. It's a lot of work to post on social media, so I'm going to be a little pickier this next year of which series go everywhere. You know what I mean? Anyway, okay, so Love Alert, Thailand, Sundays, Mondays, Gaga Ooh La La, a fun mid-series that had an interesting start. I am very glad they started it where they did. If they hadn't, I would really probably have disliked the characters. And that's what I can say about that one without too many spoilers. What did you think if you watched it? If you caught Love Alert, did you have any opinions about it? Okay, Katie says I don't think I'll watch Love Alert. I just have so many shows to watch, so that's when I've decided to just not start. That is another way to go. I love that. Good for you. uh, I get that. I've done that with some things for sure. I'm like, well, that one's really not for me. The premise isn't exactly something I would watch, so I'm just going to skip it. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the next one that started is Sculpted Light. It's from China, actually, or at least it's in Mandarin. It's on YouTube and it's coming out, as far as I'm aware, on Fridays. And that one I haven't tried, but I did notice that the time stamp for episode one was only like 10 minutes. So, I don't know. Did anybody give that one a shot? Let me know in the comments if you gave that one a shot. As I did not. Sculpted Light. The first episode was okay. It's hard to say more based on just around 10 minutes, right? I think if I am going to consume those shows, I'll probably wait till the whole show is out and watch it. Like just watch it as a short movie instead of trying to watch 10 minutes a week. Because for me, I have a very difficult time getting invested in 10-minute clips. There you go. You got maybe another show to watch if you'd like, maybe after a while. I found one that you hadn't heard of. What? Okay, anyway, Katie, that's awesome. It's a very quiet live this evening. That is okay though. Okay, the other thing that's airing right now that I just wanted to mention because entertainment is DMD Friendship. It is not. Hi, I have a cat. This is Bree, and she clearly needs a hug today. Or she doesn't like being on video, and she's like, "What did you do?" And she's going to run away. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, DMD Friendship is Domundi's like how would you term it? It almost feels like a dating show, except it's not really because instead of finding someone to be your boyfriend or girlfriend or whomever. You're finding someone to be your acting partner instead. And so they go through various trials and various cute things, and they get friendship time in order to decide whether or not they want to work together for the long term, essentially. And so DMD Friendship airs on Sundays. I do believe there's a cut version of it on YouTube and an uncut version of it on IGE. Um, I thought each episode was going to be like an hour and a half, but it turns out that was just episode one. Episode two was only like an hour. And honestly, it's just kind of fun to watch these boys navigate the world of trying to decide if they could work with someone for a long time. You also get to see them practice singing, practice dancing, practice acting, all of the things that kind of are required of Domundi actors. So, it's kind of a fun thing to watch. So I just thought I'd throw it out there. It's not a BL series, but it's like their engine for creating new BL partners to then star in series. In fact, the winners of that show get to star in one of the upcoming series. So pretty fun. All right, let's see here. I watched both Love Alert and Sculpted Light. We'll continue, but probably wait until they're all out. That is a good point. Thank you, Asil, right? She's a very cute cat. Not a fan of short formats. Yes, we all have our own preferences, right? I I feel like short format is hard for me. I did notice one show that took it's vertical, it's a vertical series, the black and white, I think is called. The one from Taiwan. They took the 1 minute clips and or 1 minute and 30 clips or 90, like however many, very short clips for their little short form drama and put it into 20-minute segments or so. And I was like, okay, I'll watch 20-minute segments. So I added that to my watch list because I thought it was cool that those two actors, oh gosh, what were they from? I even kind of remember the plot right now, but I don't remember what this story is called. I thought it was cool anyway that they decided to produce their own show. Black and White is Real is the title. Ah, is real. There was an extra bit to that I didn't catch. Awesome. Thank you. All right. So, the only thing that finished this week and is ready to binge, behind a serious, well, it's behind a serious paywall. Fight for You. Yes, also, thank you. The series that those two actors were in was Fight for You. I really liked their chemistry. I thought it was great. So I think since it's in 20-minute segments, I might be able to consume that, which is pretty cool that they did that. I'm hoping that the clipping of it all together is like not too choppy. I guess I'll find out. Let's see. They also have a new vertical series coming in January. Okay, very cool. Good for those two. Deciding they wanted to work together and going for it. It's a little bit like Yin and War from Thailand. Very cool. Okay, so the only series that is bingeable now that ended on Friday is Heated Rivalry, which is the sensation. And I think that's the only way to word it because it's kind of become a sensation in the Western world. And there's 6 episodes. They're about an hour long. It is in various places around the world. In the United States and several other countries, it's on HBO. In Canada, it's on Crave. I think in Spain, it's yet somewhere else. So not all in the same place, but it's cool that they tried to make it available in most countries. Bravo, right? But I I don't know, guys. What did you think? You probably have seen it everywhere, right? It's on all of our for FYPs, and it has sparked some very interesting dialogue. I've seen so many comments about how refreshing and wonderful it is to see two men uh, acting so comfortable and so close outside of a series. Like the two actors are more or less like doing photo shoots together and lives together and TikTok videos together and all the things in a way similar to the way Thai actors do. But I thought, oh, they're versed in BL. They know the system. They know what to do. They're like on it. But apparently the way that one of them like said, oh, there's apparently this thing called boys love, it made it seem as though he never heard of it before, which means that they're just coming about it the same way that Thailand did in 2016 with Kristen Singto, and that is organically. They're just like that. Which is really fun. And I'm just like, well, welcome to this world that we've been following forever. Join us, you know? Um, because Thai actors do that all the time for regular media interaction, right? And then Taiwanese actors with their level of stage fan service for their series is like a lot. So much to take in. So, I just think it's cool that the West is coming around to this word BL, and I love that the director said something along the lines. Okay, let me see. I've seen so many. It's just nice to have a happy ending for gay men, LOL. And I just hope they realize there is an entire world outside English language TV. Exactly. Exactly. Therapy came and love in the world begins in the world of if ended. Did those two end also last week or the week before? I think I didn't put them on because I don't know. I didn't see them on the calendar for this last week. I thought it was the week before. Anyway, um, every single time I see that, Katie, I always say something along the lines. I actually there or like we need more series with queer joy. I've seen that a lot. You know, where can I find more series with queer joy? And I've actually individually been putting in their comments. I think right now I'm using Tempo primarily because I think it would speak a little bit more to Western audiences and it's available for free on YouTube. Granted, it's not as hot as Heated Rivalry, but it does offer the queer joy. But I want to say, like, man, you guys, if you're okay with subtitles, there's a whole world for you. Come join us, you know? And then I've seen this whole segment of the BL community a little bit nervous about an influx of new people seeking queer joy. And I'm just like, well, you know, this is like an interesting space to be in. Granted, there are outliers in any space, right? There are your creeps and your weirdos and your not nice comments in every space you end up in. But like this space overall is just full of queer joy. Not just, right? It's not just the series, it's the people talking about them. It's the cute, like, feeds of actors on all of the social media accounts. It's just full of just this vibe, right? Of a safe feeling, if you will. I feel very much like a safe feeling in this space, which I think is really cool. And I think that everybody should be able to join us here. Um, so join us. If you happen to see this video, join us. Uh, I don't know, but maybe I'm going crazy. I don't know. Um, they ended last week, so after our latest BL week in review. Did they end last week? Okay. Well, all right. So we also have Therapy Game that ended. Therapy Game is a Japanese BL. It is 9 episodes long, and it is on Gaga Ulala as per usual, where all Japanese BL resides. And then Love in the World of If is also Japanese BL. It is also on Gaga Ulala, but I did notice that that one is on Viki too. That series, I think, is 6 episodes long. Both of them are a little shorter episodes for those Japanese BLs range between 20 and 30 minutes. I watched Therapy Game. It is a very cute, simple show that is just an easy to consume series. Check it out. Loved it. The other one I did not watch. I watched episode 1. It is on my list to finish because a lot of people have been putting it at the top of their lists or close to the top for like their end of year countdown. And so, yeah, 2 Japanese BLs that ended. Katie didn't watch Therapy Game, but enjoyed World of If, so we have the opposite. Therapy Game had a good premise and okay implementation, but could have been better. That's from Ossel. Love Begins was unique, especially in the first couple of episodes. It doesn't have as much focus on romance, according to Ossel, so it's a good choice if you need something that's not quite so focused on romance. I am glad more of those shows are in existence, to be honest, because we need them. Absolutely. Anyway, the point of the whole conversation about queer joy is that we shouldn't be afraid of the influx of people, but we should be prepared to maybe educate a little bit and help people along their path. Because I remember when I entered the world of BL in 2021, there's just there's a lot of delusion, right, around shipping culture. And so for the longest time, I couldn't really tell whether the ship I followed was real or not because everyone everyone was like making up their narratives and their stories and like putting clips together and stuff, and those clips told a story, but they didn't show the whole picture of what of context, right? The context was missing. All you get is the short clips. And that happens a lot in shipping culture. So that's like just a tip of the iceberg of the education that's needed, and like what it means. We do ship people here over here, maybe less so today, but it's very much been a part of our past. Still though, it's very different in the world of media that we live in today, right? The, there's maybe less of a fifth wall, and by there being less of a fifth wall, it's very easy to, well, a some of the actors love oversharing, and b it's just easy to say whatever you want to say. So misinformation is rampant, and it's in other languages that we don't necessarily understand, so we rely on translations, and those translations may or may not be accurate. And if they're not accurate, some people say that this is just a fantasy translation or whatever, but some people don't say that. And then you're, taking whatever word that fan said was a translation for like what they actually said when it wasn't. So yeah, there's just, it's a lot. It's a lot. Anyway, okay, there it is. Education. Doing our best when we see things that are like, well, maybe not quite, or let's talk about this. Instead of just scrolling on past, actually pausing and hitting reply to that person. I think that'll be important. Okay, so we are now, it's guys, it's kind of short to be honest. We are now entering the spoilers section of this live. That is all that I had as far as actual content for what's coming, what ended, etc. There's not a lot happening right now, right? I'm sure it'll pick up again in the start of the new year. I'm glad we're getting a break. Lots of things ending, not lots of things starting. So the spoilers should be fun. I thought we'd mainly focus on heated rivalry, talk about like favorite moments and stuff, make it a little bit of club chat, if you will. And then we're still on Melody of Secrets. So if you're watching Melody of Secrets or like to chat more about heated rivalry, go ahead and stick around. If you'd rather not have spoilers about those things, I totally get that. There might be random spoilers about me and Thee too, because I love it so much and has to be talked about every week. You look up Kumti on a GIF bar for social media, and the GIFs of him are endless, and it is fantastic. So, FYI, all you have to do is type in his name, the character's name, into the GIF search engine for any of the social media sites, and like you end up with his face is so memeable. What can you say? Anyway, also, Happy New Year then. Glad that you could step in for a little bit. I will see you next week. Okay, so did you see Heated Rivalry, anybody? I want to say that okay, for, and hopefully nobody comes for me if they see this later. I was kind of getting into it, episodes 1 and 2. I'm like, okay, we've got our classic smutty yaoi happening. It's fantastic. Let's go. And then episode 3 happened, and it was a completely different story, and it threw me. I'm not gonna lie, like straight up. It all came together at the end, but like it really, really, really threw me because it was like episode three was a different story entirely. I'm like, wait, what happened to Ilya? What happened to Shane? Why are we on this other track? I don't get it. And then, so my one, I guess it stopped me enough that I waited until the end after that to like binge it. Um, yeah, but it turned itself back around at episode four, and then episode three does make sense later. It does, but I don't know if maybe as a storyteller, I was trying to think like how would I have mixed in that story so that it fit better. I'm not sure what the right answer is, but for me, that part of the story, even though we needed it and they used it later for a very important, like monumental choice that needed to be made, it was still, it could have been woven better. Katie, though, about the dad showing up at the cottage, yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. The cottage scene, I pretty much I was like, ah no, but still like that family ended up being super understanding, and I was like, yep, here we are, the world of BL where, you know, parents model good ways to speak about all of this when their children come out, which is really awesome. Let's see. Episode three was from book one, but stuff we needed to know before those two kiss on the ice, which pushed Shane and Ilya to commit. Yeah, I got that part. Like I could, when that came, DeLorean, I knew exactly why we needed all of that in episode three. Um, so episode three was from a different book. That explains why it felt out of place. It was from not the same story. Got it. That all makes sense now. I wonder how they could have done that. I don't have any idea how they could have done that, to be honest. I had read the comments that episode three would be about Scott and Kip, so I was prepared for it. I haven't read the books, so didn't know them at all, but loved them almost immediately. Scott and Kip, I do admit that that story that was told in episode three was really cute. I loved that story, like almost more than the main story. It made me happy. And yeah, that was a really, really sweet story. And the kiss on the ice, oh man, that was awesome. And then the way they focused on like the positive remarks of what having someone who's a role model who's out, who was brave enough to be out, like how they all he got all kinds of positive notes from like youth. I thought that that was a really cool moment too. I enjoyed the what they focused on in the series for sure. Very, very cool. And yeah, there were a lot of moments in there that were lovely. Oh, totally worth checking out. I paid for HBO for the year, I think, because it was on this massive discount. I don't know if it's still on a massive discount, but it might be. So, check it out and see if it is. That's pretty cool. All right. I was trying to think about the favorite characters, and you guys are talking about Scott and Kip, and so I'm going to say that those two, I probably liked them more than Shane and Ilya. Shane and Ilya were a little bit harder to swallow as characters for me. Um, I don't know, their personalities wouldn't be someone I would get along very well with in real life, I don't think. Whereas both Scott and Kip, I could see myself as friends with them in real life, so I think that's probably why I ended up liking them more. Yeah. Uh the other main chat Kinda me too. Scott and Kip were just adorable. Ah, yay. Not the only one. Awesome. Would you want to hang out with them for a day though, Katie, I wonder? Like, would they be it, or is there anyone in particular from that series if you could like, I don't know, go hang out for a day and like see the town or something, you would choose? I will check for your answer in just a little bit. I'm trying to think if there's anything else about that show that I wanted to mention. Just the reception, we talked about it. We talked about favorite characters, we talked about some of the moments. I think that's about it. Yeah. Melody of Secrets. I We've been talking about it. We're on episode 4 this week. And I don't know, do you guys get the feeling that like I thought we were going to have peeling back onion layers of a series, but it feels a little bit less like that this week for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's not quite as deep as I thought it was going to be. Let's see here. What did you say? I would be friends with Kip. LOL. I don't think I'd actually get along with anyone else. Ilya is fun to watch, but I would not like hanging out with them. That is fair. FYI, books 3 through 5 are different couples, with Ilya as a supporting character. The HEA for Shane Ilya isn't until book 6, where they are the main couple again. Interesting. Okay. Not sure where they will pick up season 2. Very interesting. Melody of Secrets. Playing forgave Tankun too soon. There is that. I was like, where's the drama? This was such a really kind of big, nasty lie that he pulled or prank that he pulled. And like, what? You're forgiving the guy already? This is nonsense. Uh, I felt like it'd be darker too, you know? Like, the themes would are the themes dark but the coloring is light, therefore there's this confusion, or are the themes not quite as dark? I don't know. I wrote down in my notes that the themes aren't as dark as I thought they would be, but I'm thinking about it now. I'm like, they are kind of dark, so why did I write that? And I'm like, well, maybe I wrote that because the color scheme, the lighting, the pastel colors, all of it is like light and not dark, even though the thematic matter is dark. It's not like Dare You to Death, which is dark and the coloring is dark and gritty, and all of it is just kind of like, wow. Ah, I am fine with how Shane and Ilya, because not every romance is lovey-dovey right away, and their long distance made the everyday romance type stuff take longer to happen. Absolutely. That part I didn't have a problem with either. Every romance begins differently. Having a physical relationship as the beginning is definitely one way things go sometimes. Nothing wrong with that. Absolutely. I did see one Melody of Secrets theory, guys, that kind of threw me for a loop. And I just like, well, that would be a twist. I saw someone think that playing was not playing at all. Like he's not the same person either. Do you guys think that that could be possible? Because that would be a crazy twist if this was some random person, and there's really no way we can know precisely because, well, the grandma seems very tight-lipped and the mother is, unconscious. And then we have playing himself, who's an unreliable narrator. I don't know. That would be really, really crazy. And then there is the suggestion that Tan Paul, the actual lover of playing, uh, was it wasn't act his death was not accidental, and so I'm like, what happened there? Is playing really the person who ended his part boyfriend's life? Was it accidental? Is he, uh, I don't know, is he serial? It's so weird. Okay, let's see here. Oh, that is your theory? There's something super weird about playing. Why would the grandma hate him and speak to him the way she does if he's really his mother's son? Okay, so that is your theory. Oh man, that would be the twist of a lifetime if that were the case, Katie. Uh, are you two still confused about Melody of Secrets? The real boyfriend's passing date is 2020 on the stone, but when Tan was talking to the cop, they said they found his remaining remains a month ago. So, right, there's some weirdness going on here. I do think we will eventually get to the bottom of it all. I still believe that this is one of those shows where when we get to the bottom of it all, we are going to have to go back and rewatch again and catch all the clues that were straight in front of our faces, but we didn't quite notice because it didn't go together quite. Because again, unreliable narrator. That basically means that the main character is, because of his memory loss, we can't trust what he says, and we can't trust his information or his information sources at all, right? Because his memories could be real or they could be not real because of the head injury. So I don't even know. I'm going with it though. We're keeping going. I'm going to watch more next week. I will see. But there isn't an episode this week, so who knows what we'll chat about next week. Not this one. That's for sure. Me and Thee continues to be an absolute delight. The episode this week, I might not have been laughing so hard I was crying this week, but it was it's rare to find a show that is funny and deep, and this has both. Yeah, DeLorean shows that are canceled this week. I wrote it down. I'll repeat my list. Let's see. Shows that are canceled this week include Burnout Syndrome, Dare You to Death, Goddess Bless You from Death, Melody of Secrets, Reloved. All of those are not airing this week. Hopefully that helps you out. I Those are the ones I've heard of. I don't know about others. Thailand takes the holiday, right? January 31st through, not January, December 31st through January 4th, typically. At least that's what I was reading for this year. So I don't know. I haven't seen anything about Me and Thee not airing. IGE still says that the episode is coming out this week, so I'm going to assume that that's still airing. It would be very, very sad to wake up on Saturday and realize it wasn't. Hmm. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. Um, it's all good. The front half of the live, that's the big one from the front half of the live is the announcement. All right. Well, that's about it, guys. Watch me and Thee, obviously. I'm trying to think, is there a group that wouldn't enjoy that show? No, everyone would enjoy that show. It's a show for everyone. There's a little bit of something for all types of people in that show. All right. We have come to the end of today's live. The next time I see you, it will be January. So, Happy New Year, everybody. It's been a joy and a pleasure sharing BL with all of you this year. If DeLorean, the beginning of the live, I make a run through of all the changes for the new year. So that is one thing to check out. Um, and I will see you next week as usual on this channel. Have a good evening, everybody. Happy New Year.